What's up, guys? Hope everyone's week is going great. I just wanted to take a second to tell you what's going to be going on in the next couple weeks. We're going to be doing a short series called Films and Faith. Basically, what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at some really popular Hollywood movies. We're going to take a major theme from the movie, and then we're going to look at the Bible and see what the Bible says about that theme and how we can apply it to our lives. I'm personally really excited about it. I hope you are too. So, we'll get going with the first one. Alright, so the first movie we're going to look at is a movie called Pursuit of Happiness starring Will Smith. Now, if you guys know me, you will know that I am the biggest Will Smith fan in the world. Like, I still jam out to his music. Dead serious. But to set this movie up, basically Will Smith is he's a father and a husband who's basically made a bad investment. I'm trying to make this really short for you. Basically, his wife leaves, he's stuck with his kid, he's running out of money. He gets an internship. It's very competitive. He's a brilliant math mind, but it ends up he runs out of money. He loses his house. Him and his kid are on the street. He's still trying to get through this internship to get a job. That's good enough for now. That should set it up. But he's at a payphone at one point, and he looks down at a nickel that he's about to put into the payphone, and he sees Thomas Jefferson on it. And then it goes into like this little like over voice thing where he's thinking, and he goes, he says, "How did Thomas Jefferson know the words to say when he said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? How did he know not to just say that people have the right to life, liberty, and happiness? Why was it pursuit of happiness? Like, what came over him to make him know that not everyone was going to reach happiness or reach joy? How did he know to say pursuit?" And you know, that got me thinking, what is the one thing that can universally bring people joy and happiness? You know, there's got to be one thing out there, and I know the Christian answer is God and Jesus, and you are correct, but hear me out. And you know, I think that the one thing that probably every human could agree on, no matter what your race, religion, gender, color, whatever, is perfection. I think that in everything that we do and everything that we see, we strive for perfection. I mean, think about it. How many times do we rearrange our living room in a year just to find, you know, the perfect spot for the couch? Or when we go to McDonald's and get that McChicken, we get it and it's a little bit soggy and our whole day is ruined because our McChicken wasn't perfect. You know, we find happiness in perfection. It's a momentary happiness, true, but we do find happiness in perfection. And I think that's why it's so hard sometimes for us as Christians to find that joy and that happiness, because we're striving for this spiritual perfection in our life that we are never going to reach while we're on this earth. I mean, it's crazy. So we look at Matthew 5:48, and it says, "But you are to be perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect." And we're like, whoa, hold up. God, that's a really tall order. Like, didn't you just hear me say we're never going to be perfect? So why are you up in here telling me to be perfect? And this is where it doesn't make sense, because I'm guilty of this myself. But we like to look at the end result and try to see if it's something that we can ever reach. And if it's not, then we count ourselves out. But bear with me, there's a logic flaw here. There's a serious flaw in our logic, because if you think of an athlete and how many years he strives away to just work at it just to make it into the big leagues, and sometimes even then it's just barely making it into the big leagues. You know, his goal might be to be the best player in the world, but 99% of the time everyone knows that they are never going to reach the level of the best player, but they still work at it anyway because it makes them happy. It brings them joy to get better at what they're doing. So it's the act of perfecting that's important, not the end result. So that may leave you asking, where does my joy come from? I'm glad you asked once again. If we look at James 1, verses 2 and 3, it says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of any kind." Hold up. So, God, I'm having this problem again because you just told me to consider it pure joy whenever I face trials. I don't know, God. That doesn't really make sense. But luckily for us, the verse continues. So consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Oh, shoot. Okay, it's about to come full circle. You guys ready for this? Here we go. When you persevere, what happens? You get better. It's the classic example of practice makes perfect. Huh. What? Practice makes what? Practice makes perfect. So there you go. You get your joy by living for Christ and inching closer to perfection. Notice that it never says anywhere that you will reach perfection, but it says you get your joy from the process of perfection. So if you don't remember anything else today, remember this sentence. Joy comes from the process of perfection. I'll see you guys next week.